Every morning, you walk into your kitchen, turn on the lights, and reach for that familiar plastic bottle on the counter. You pop a little yellow vitamin D capsule into your hand and swallow it down with a warm sip of morning coffee. You feel a deep, comforting sense of pride because you believe you are actively protecting your aging bones. You think you are doing the exact right thing to stay vigorous, healthy, and completely independent as the years go by. Stop right there. Take a very close look at what you are actually doing to your internal biology. You are doing the absolute equivalent of ordering 100 massive dump trucks full of heavy bricks to build a beautiful new house. But you are completely forgetting to hire a site manager to tell those massive trucks where to go. The heavy bricks just get dumped haphazardly on the main highway. They block the lanes. They cause absolute chaos across the entire city. The traffic stops completely, the roads are ruined, and absolutely nothing gets built. The foundation of your house remains completely empty while the surrounding infrastructure is destroyed. This is exactly what is happening inside your microscopic blood vessels right now. It is a stark biological paradox. Top cardiovascular researchers are desperately trying to warn us about this exact hidden mechanism. That isolated vitamin D3 aggressively pulls heavy calcium from the food you eat directly into your bloodstream. It does this job incredibly well, almost too well. But without a specific chemical director, it dumps that heavy calcium straight into your delicate heart valves. It completely misses your bones. Please understand that this is not your fault, and you should not feel guilty. The bright label on the plastic bottle just says it supports bone health. The marketing makes it sound like a simple, magical solution for aging gracefully. Nobody tells you that isolated D3 is only half of a highly complex biological equation. Nobody warns you about the hidden dangers. But if you take D3 completely alone, or if you take it with a standard daily calcium pill, the entire process backfires. It turns from a wonderful bone builder into a heavy, rigid load for your entire cardiovascular system. Stay with me. Do not click away. At the exact end of this video, I will show you the exact nutrient you need to fix this. I will give you the exact ratio you must pair it with. This protocol will force that rogue calcium out of your arteries forever. It will lock it firmly into your bones where it actually belongs. Let us look closely at the real fascinating science behind that little yellow pill you take. When you swallow D3, it travels down through your digestive tract and enters your system. Your liver and your kidneys eventually pick it up and work together to convert it into its active hormonal form. Its primary job in the human body is incredibly simple. It opens the microscopic biological gates located deep inside your gut lining. This simple action allows the calcium from your daily meals to rush directly into your bloodstream. This significantly raises your serum calcium levels, which sounds like a great thing. You absolutely want abundant calcium in your body, but you do not want it floating aimlessly. Think of vitamin D3 as a giant muscular bouncer unlocking the front doors to a massive, exclusive nightclub. The bouncer opens the heavy doors wide and lets absolutely everyone inside. The calcium floods into the building, and the crowd gets bigger and bigger by the minute. But the bouncer has a fatal flaw. He has absolutely no idea where the calcium goes after it enters the crowded lobby. The bouncer just stands at the front door checking IDs and letting more people in. He does not direct the foot traffic, and he does not show people to their assigned seats. The calcium wanders completely unguided. Put a plus in the comments right now if you have always believed taking more vitamin D automatically meant stronger bones, or a minus if you already knew this was a dangerous myth. We need to clear up this widespread confusion together. Taking your D3 capsule on an empty stomach is your very first major error. Washing it down with a quick cup of black coffee before rushing out the door is just as bad. Vitamin D3 is a fat-soluble vitamin, which dictates exactly how your body processes it. This means it absolutely requires dietary fat to trigger the release of bile in your stomach. Without fat, your body absorbs nothing. The pill simply dissolves in your watery digestive fluids. The expensive nutrients pass right through your digestive system without ever entering your cells. They end up flushed down the toilet a few hours later. It is completely wasted money. You might as well throw the bottle away. But let us assume you actually took it correctly today.
Let us assume you took it with a handful of raw almonds, half a rich avocado, or some pasture-raised eggs cooked in real olive oil. The D3 is successfully absorbed into your system. The calcium is now heavily flooding your blood. Without its biological director, serious trouble begins. That wandering, unguided calcium looks for the absolute easiest place to settle down and rest. It settles right inside your endothelium. This is the incredibly delicate, smooth inner lining of your blood vessels. Your arteries are supposed to be highly flexible and dynamic. They must expand and contract easily.
They need to move effortlessly with every single heartbeat to keep your blood pressure perfectly regulated. But the unguided calcium sticks stubbornly to these delicate microscopic walls. It is exactly like hard water leaving stubborn, crusty limescale on a bathroom showerhead. Over time, that thick crust builds up. Your healthy, flexible arteries slowly become rigid, stiff, unyielding pipes. Your heart now has to pump much harder just to push normal blood through these stiffened channels. You might find yourself feeling strangely winded after climbing a simple flight of stairs. This is the ultimate calcium paradox of aging. As we grow older, our bones slowly lose calcium and become frail, but our soft tissues strangely gain calcium and become stiff. Isolated D3 aggressively accelerates this exact paradox. It pulls the calcium in, but leaves it in your aortic valve. That valve has to open and close 100,000 times a single day. When calcium lands there, it becomes a rusty hinge. So taking D3 without fat wastes your money, but absorbing it without a guide actively threatens your long-term cardiovascular health. If you think your heart is the only organ dealing with this misplaced calcium, you are entirely mistaken. The real everyday catastrophe happens quietly inside your joints. While your arteries are silently stiffening, your shoulders are picking up the heavy scraps. Your elbows, your wrists, and your knees are absorbing the dangerous overflow. Picture this incredibly common daily scenario. You wake up early in the morning and swing your legs over the edge of the bed. You stand up and you immediately feel it. You wake up with stiff, aching knees that refuse to bend smoothly. Your lower back feels tight and completely locked up. Your shoulders pop and crack harshly when you reach up high into the cabinet for your morning coffee mug. You naturally assume it is just your age catching up with you. You blame the cold morning weather. So what do you do next to fix it? You swallow even more vitamin D. You add an extra heavy calcium pill to your daily routine. You hope and pray for some quick relief, thinking you are lubricating your tired joints. But you are feeding the stiffness directly. You are making the exact problem much worse without realizing it. Unbound blood calcium forms tiny, sharp microcrystals deep inside your joint cartilage and synovial fluid. In human biology, we call this destructive process ectopic calcification. Let us use much simpler terms. Think of it as microscopic glass shards getting permanently caught in the metal hinges of a heavy wooden door. Every single time you bend your knee or move your arm, those invisible shards grind harshly against the soft, spongy cartilage. It hurts deeply. It throbs constantly. It stops you from moving freely. It makes getting down on the living room floor to play with your grandchildren feel like a massive, painful chore. Try this simple biological shift instead. Stop taking isolated calcium supplements immediately if you are already taking high-dose D3. Let your daily food provide all the natural calcium you need. Eat plain whole milk yogurt. Have you ever caught a sneaky supplement company tricking you with incomplete health formulas? Tell me your story below in the comments. Before we can even begin to direct that rogue calcium away from your aching joints, we must look at how D3 is activated. Vitamin D3 cannot work alone. It is physically impossible for your body to use it as it is. It cannot be converted into its active, usable hormonal form without adequate magnesium. Magnesium is completely non-negotiable. If your cellular magnesium levels are low, the D3 just builds up uselessly in your system. It gets stored away in your fat cells where it sits completely dormant. It does absolutely nothing to support your daily vitality or your bone density. Without magnesium, D3 stays permanently locked inside your tissue. Think of magnesium as the ignition key. Imagine a powerful, incredibly expensive sports car sitting in your driveway. You can put all the premium fuel you want into that beautiful car. The premium fuel is the vitamin D3 you swallow every morning. But without the shiny ignition key, that beautiful car is not moving a single inch. Magnesium turns the D3 engine on. It allows the calcium to finally enter your blood and start moving. Most people walking around today are severely deficient in magnesium without even knowing it. This is not because people are eating the wrong foods. It is because our modern farming soils are totally depleted of basic minerals due to aggressive industrial agriculture. Farmers use synthetic NPK fertilizers. These chemical fertilizers contain nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium to make crops grow incredibly fast and look huge in the supermarket. But they do not put magnesium back into the soil. A bright green spinach leaf today has a mere fraction of the vital magnesium it had in the 1950s. Even if you eat a perfectly healthy diet, you are likely starving for the ignition key. We stress way too much. High daily stress produces massive amounts of cortisol, which burns through our hidden magnesium reserves instantly. You need to eat more raw pumpkin seeds. You need more cooked spinach. You might even need a high-quality magnesium glycinate supplement just to catch up. So, magnesium turns the D3 engine on, but turning a powerful, fast engine on while driving completely blindfolded is a guaranteed recipe for a massive crash. The calcium is moving fast, but it has no map and no destination. Here's exactly what happens when that unguided, fast-moving calcium eventually reaches your brain. As that unguided calcium travels rapidly through your circulatory system, it eventually reaches the microscopic microvessels of your brain. Have you ever felt that heavy, completely unexplainable brain fog hit you hard by mid-afternoon? Have you experienced a deep, crushing fatigue around 2 o'clock that makes you want to sleep at your desk? You stare blankly at your screen. You forget your neighbor's name, even though you have known them for years. You misplace your car keys again and walk into rooms forgetting why you were there. Excess blood calcium from unguided D3 is very often the hidden culprit behind this terrible feeling. It actually slows down your normal nerve transmission. Your brain neurons are struggling. They're quite literally fighting to fire cleanly through the heavy calcium buildup in the microvessels. The electrical signals in your brain hit massive roadblocks. They misfire constantly. They slow down to an absolute crawl, making every thought feel like walking through thick mud. Remember that little yellow pill? If you do not use the specific activator I'm about to show you, you are actively encouraging this biological traffic jam. You are doing it to yourself every single morning. The very pill you take for vibrant health is actively slowing your brain down. So, unguided calcium clogs your arteries. It stiffens your knee joints. It fogs your brain. It drains your daily energy reserves. We desperately need a biological traffic cop to arrest this rogue calcium immediately. We need something powerful. We need to pull it out of the soft tissue and drag it firmly into the bone marrow. We need it safely inside the bone matrix where it can actually build solid bone mass. And that specific biological traffic cop has a very specific, somewhat rare name. When your blood is heavily saturated with floating calcium, your body produces a very special protein. It is called matrix GLA protein. We call it MGP for short. MGP is a true biological miracle hiding inside your own biology. It acts exactly like a microscopic street sweeper. It is specifically designed by nature to physically scrape hardened calcium right out of your arteries. It pulls the dangerous calcium away from your delicate heart valves. It clears the sharp glass shards out of your stiff joints. But there is a massive biological catch. MGP is produced completely asleep. It is 100% inactive when your body creates it. It cannot do any sweeping or cleaning unless it is forcibly woken up. It needs a specific, powerful activator to turn it on.
That activator is menaquinone 7. We call it vitamin K2 as MK7. This is the exact biological key that wakes up the MGP street sweeper and sends it to work. You absolutely must pair your vitamin D3 with a vitamin K2. They are required biological partners that cannot function properly without each other. Do not confuse it with vitamin K1. K1 comes from green leafy vegetables like spinach, broccoli, and kale. K1 is great for your body, but it only helps with normal blood clotting. It does not move calcium at all. K2 is completely different. It is very rare in the modern diet. Historically, our grandparents got plenty of K2 naturally. They drank milk from cows that spent all day eating rapidly growing green grass in the spring. Today, cattle are fed cheap grain in massive, crowded feedlots, so the K2 has completely disappeared from our dairy. Now it comes primarily from heavily fermented foods. You can find it in natto. Natto is a traditional dish of highly fermented Japanese soybeans that has an incredibly strong taste. You can find it in certain high-quality, long-aged cheeses. Real Gouda or authentic Brie naturally contain this miracle vitamin because of the bacterial fermentation process. You can find small amounts in yellow, pasture-raised, grass-fed butter. But getting enough K2 from modern food alone is incredibly difficult for most regular people. Real, natural, traditional dairy products are very hard to find in standard grocery stores now. Where are you watching this video from today, and what do good traditional aged cheeses cost in your local city right now? Let me know in the comments below. Try this highly effective strategy instead. Find a highly trusted supplement brand. Find one that binds D3 and K2MK7 together in the exact same capsule. Make sure the mixture is suspended in a healthy fat. Look for pure olive oil or coconut oil. Having the oil right inside the capsule ensures maximum intestinal absorption without needing a heavy meal. Now that you have the biological street sweeper fully awake, you might think you are completely safe. You might think tossing any random amount of K2 into your body will do the job perfectly. Think again. Human biology requires extreme precision. Taking massive megadoses of vitamin D3 with a tiny useless sprinkle of K2 is a fundamental biological error. The exact ratio dictates the success of the entire operation. If you have way too much D3, the calcium still wanders. It causes the exact same damage to your heart and joints. Traditional nutritional wisdom points to a very specific, heavily tested balance. You need roughly 100 micrograms of K2 for every 5,000 to 10,000 IUs of D3 you consume daily. This is the golden biological ratio. This is what keeps the entire system running smoothly without any dangerous buildup.
You must read your supplement labels very carefully. Look closely at the back of the bottle. Do not just read the bold, flashy marketing text on the front. Check the exact micrograms listed in the nutritional panel. Ensure you are getting the right balance every single time you swallow a pill. By the way, do you store your daily vitamins in the cold refrigerator or on the warm kitchen counter? Let's debate the absolute best storage methods in the comments right now. So, pairing D3 with MK7 in the right ratio saves your arteries from hardening. It fortifies your aging bones. It clears your afternoon brain fog. But even with the perfect pill, you are still in danger. Even with the perfect biological ratio, the exact time of day you swallow it changes absolutely everything. While the K2 is busy sweeping calcium deep into your bones, your brain is doing something else. Your brain is quietly trying to regulate your daily sleep cycle. Your circadian rhythm is incredibly delicate and easily disrupted. Vitamin D violently halts natural melatonin production in the brain. Melatonin is your primary sleep hormone that tells your body when to rest and repair. Vitamin D is literally the sunshine vitamin. Your body genuinely thinks it is standing outside in the bright midday sun when you take it. Taking your capsule late in the evening completely confuses your pineal gland. It heavily tricks your brain into thinking it is high noon outside. You go to bed feeling normal. You fall asleep initially because your body is physically exhausted from a long day. But then you wake up suddenly at 2 in the morning. You lie there in the dark.
You stare straight up at the ceiling. Your mind is racing with anxious thoughts. You toss and turn for hours. You are completely unable to go back to sleep no matter what you try. You blame daily work stress. You blame getting older. You blame the hot cup of tea you had before bed. You are completely unaware that it was that innocent little D3 pill disrupting your entire sleep architecture. Poor sleep ruins your immune system rapidly. It destroys your daily mood and ages you faster than anything else. Try this simple, unbreakable rule. Always take your combined D3 and K2 complex with your heaviest midday meal. Take it right at lunch. This ensures you have enough dietary fat in your stomach to absorb it. It gives the vitamins many hours to process through your liver and kidneys before the sun goes down. Most importantly, it rigorously protects your natural sleep cycle. It allows you to sleep deeply and peacefully through the entire night. Let us lock in this exact health protocol right now. Grab a pen and write this down. D3 is for the initial calcium pull. It opens the gut doors. Magnesium is to turn the ignition key.
It powers the biological engine. Vitamin K2 as MK7 is to direct the calcium completely away from the heart. It pushes it deep into the hard bone matrix where it belongs. You must take them all together to see real results. You must take them with a healthy fat like avocado or olive oil. You must take them in the middle of the day. There is no need for any fear or anxiety about your health. Your body is an incredible, highly efficient machine. You just need to give your body the exact raw tools it needs. When you follow this exact protocol, everything changes. You turn that rogue calcium from a dangerous cardiovascular threat into your skeleton's absolute best friend. You build thick bone density safely and naturally. Support your biology correctly, and the physical results will truly shock you. You will feel much more vigorous. Your heavy afternoon brain fog will finally lift. Your stiff joints will move smoother without that awful grinding pain. Your system will thank you for many years to come. This information is strictly educational to support your daily vitality. Never change your doctor's medical treatment without their consent. If this deep dive into human biology and daily health habits interested you today, you will absolutely love this next video. It is called The Ice Water Habit That Paralyzes Your Vagus Nerve After 50. Why drinking cold water with meals instantly drops your stomach temperature, halting the migrating motor complex and trapping rotting food in your gut. Click the video on your screen right now to watch it. Stay healthy, keep learning about your body, and take care.